What is your American dream?
Driving through the sunset in Malibu in my black Viper convertible with my hot model girlfriend, listening to my recorded award-winning album, going to my premiere of my third movie somewhere in Hollywood, something like that.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Hump Day.
The 13th.
The 13th. You know what Hump Day the 13th means?
Oh.
You know, it's like
extra freaky.
It's like extra humpy. Like Friday the 13th is extra freaky. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, Hump Day the 13th. You don't know that, but in Bradshaw Live lore,
Yikes.
L-O-R-E, not L-A-W, lore, because I have my New York accent. It is extra humpy on any Wednesday the 13th.
Do you agree with that, Nesquik?
I believe so. I believe it, so therefore it is.
It is.
It is. How are you, Nesquik?
Okay, truly, you gentlemen are hysterical, number one. I'm so glad this show exists.
All right. And by the way, go ahead, Vanessa.
It didn't strike until literally, you know, it doesn't matter how much we do this. I just want to say this to the squad. We always get a little nervous before we get on here. Hey, we're live. And when you guys said it was Hump Day the 13th,
takes a lot off your shoulders, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a produced show, but at the same time, we don't know the words that are going to come out of our mouth as soon as we go live, right?
Like that sometimes we get in trouble for it.
Sometimes, yes. By the way, Vanessa, everyone thought that Jonathan just had some random sticker on his shirt. If we could get close in on his shirt, and we're like, can you please take the welcome, my name is Jonathan sticker off your shirt? But apparently, it is part of the shirt.
It is.
It came with the shirt.
It did.
The hi, welcome, my name is Jonathan.
See, it's a conversation starter.
It certainly is.
You know?
It certainly is.
It's a conversation starter.
And how's everything down in Miami?
It's been pouring rain
Oh,
here.
really?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Did you guys, I loved that American Dream. That was a new one.
That's what Brad said, too. Yeah.
I just met that person this weekend, and having had met them behind the scenes and them had said that to be their American Dream, it was so awesome because as a creative, he just painted the dream out so perfectly that I was like, you know what? Yeah, I want that too.
That's awesome.
That's very funny because that was the first time I saw it when it just went live, and I just turned to Yo-Yo right before the show starts. I go, that's a pretty good American Dream.
Literally every time you say that, Nesquik says something like
that. You say it like
after.
that too. I think Nesquik.
Right.
I think me and you have the same dreams.
I don't disagree with that, literally. That gentleman, it just happened when I was up there, so it was so refreshing to be, you know, back in New York, live on the street after COVID. And for that gentleman to say that was his dream, I cannot. Let's say hello to the squad.
You relate. All right, let's say hello. Jessica Leamy, squad up. Carol the Tiger, squad up. Dembasau, how are you? Maureen McFarlane saying, squad up, fam, Brad. I'm now a United States citizen.
Hey.
Finally! Get over it!
Yeah.
Get over it! All right,
Yeah.
Congratulations, Maureen McFarlane, new U.S. citizen.
Come on, that's a beautiful thing.
That is a beautiful thing.
I love that for you. I love that.
She is ready for the 2024 election. Sorry, Pumpkin, you're not getting her. You're not getting Maureen McFarlane's vote, Pumpkin. Christy Gonzalez, squad up. Nita God Pickney, how are you? And Sergey Williams saying, happy Hump Day. Yes, Sergey, happy the 13th Hump Day the 13th.
Freaky the 13th, yes.
Wednesday the 13th.
Wednesday the 13th.
Extra humpy. Lolita Shell Squad up. How are you? Dion Reed and Ma Dukes. What's going on? We have Abadoon Jama Squad up. And Stargirl Dawn Harriet. Wasim Al Sawala saying congratulations, I guess, to Maureen McFarlane.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on YouTube. Jessica Leamy double fisting Deion Watson. Susie Q, Ja Love. The Top Cat also double fisting. How are you all? Maxine Roberts saying good evening. Brijal Patel. Squad up. He knows what to say. Cruzeiro Palestra forever. Good job, Bradshaw. We are 100% with you.
Yes.
And for that, I am with you forever. Cruzeiro Palestra.
Oh.
Forever. That's the person's name.
Oh, okay.
Denise Johnson, squad up. But I am also with.
I was like,
with
wow,
him. I don't know if it's him or her or they. It could be him, her, or they. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Come on, Brad.
Right? We don't know.
Right.
But whether it's him, her, or they, I'm with you 100%. Awesome. Also, Denise Johnson, squad up. Curleen Wiley saying hello to everybody. Barbara Bedward, squad up. And Asif Malvi saying hello. David Perselli. What it do, squad fam?
What it do?
What it do? You tell everybody what it do.
That's my type of lingo.
Yes.
All right. All right, squad. You already know what time it is. It is Hump Day. So let's share this show to every and anybody you can share it to on all social media platforms, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines, including today's White House announcement that starting early November, the United States will allow fully vaccinated foreign nationals to cross its land's borders for non-essential purposes. God, it was like trying to get it out.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but you got it.
Got it out.
I cannot. And it's Hump Day Wednesday Squad, so we'll be delving into some more mature stories, including a real-life 40-year-old virgin who is looking for a partner.
Aha! Perhaps somebody wants to answer his advertisement. We'll be talking about that. And of course, you can call Spar and Bernstein at the telephone number scrolling at the bottom. You'll see a gentleman there with a really good body, kind of like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, with my head on it, with the big sign that says "Ask me your immigration question." It is also the telephone number to call to get on our show right now. Hint, hint. As I always say, hint, hint. We always have open lines when the show starts. But by the time Schmooze is over, locked and loaded. 1-800-529-5465 is the telephone number to call to get on our show. Also to call Spar and Bernstein. Internationally, it's +1 212-227-8933. We can take your call from anywhere on Earth.
Yes.
But we can't take it from space. But we can take it from anywhere on Earth. And after I take your immigration questions, and Yo-Yo and Vanessa scours the Facebook and YouTube comments for the best issues, problems, and concerns of the day in our social media check-in. Later in the show, we're going to hear the second half of my conversation with musical theater composer Jaime Lozano, who has been heralded as the next big thing on Broadway by none other than Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda, and whose album Songs by an Immigrant premiered October 2020 in conjunction with Hispanic Heritage Month. You ready to schmooze?
Let's schmooze.
Let's do it. So Vanessa, I'm used to saying in my hands is the top 180 stories of the day. Today, Vanessa, it is a very light news day. It's like I have a bunch of feathers in my hand. All right, very light news today. Not a lot happening in the world.
One of those days. Exercise
you want to know why? Do you want to know why not a lot's happening in the world?
Because we don't have the pumpkin.
Because it's Hump Day the 13th.
Oh!
Of course.
Like Hump Day the 13th.
When it's Hump Day the 13th, everybody's home. There's not a lot going on in the streets. Because it's Hump Day the 13th.
Because there's a lot going on in the sheets. All right. I had to. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's very good. Very good. So, by the way, this is a little trifling, according to, or maybe not trifling,
Depending on who it is.
As an employer, it's trifling for me.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not trifling for others.
Right.
But according to the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, it's called the JOLTS report, released yesterday, a record 4.3 million people quit their job in August. That's almost 3% of the full workforce in the United States. The numbers of workers who quit rose by more than almost 242,000. It's 250,000 people from July, as more Americans are demanding higher pay, better working conditions, and the flexible arrangements to work from wherever they want to live.
Yeah, because after the pandemic, a lot of different companies are allowing that now.
Yeah, now the JOLTS report showed that companies continue to grapple with a serious worker shortage. Job openings remained very high at the end of August. The numbers show the worker shortage was even worse than realized this summer. I know why it is, but I'll tell you in a second. Now, Joe Brasulis, chief economist at RSM, said, "This is what happens after great wars or depressions. It's hard to spot when you're in it, but we've gone through a shock that has excited an unexpected change upon the population, and it will take some time to sort out." I can tell you just from my own company, we've had a turnover too, much more than we've ever had in at least certainly my career, and more recently than before. And it's not because people were unhappy working. It's just when you are now working, I'll tell you what it is, at least in my opinion. When you're working remotely, you're sitting in front of a computer.
Right.
Okay, you're doing your work, you're speaking to your clients, whatever it may be. Okay, you're selling soaps, you're selling cars. You don't have that camaraderie of being in an office and having friends and deep relationships. So to me, why would anybody care if they're sitting in front of a computer and being on a phone at their home? Why do they care if they work for company A, company B, company C? Because their relationships are whoever they talk to on Zoom. But you don't have those deep connections, that camaraderie to stay in work because you're like, I really like the people I work with.
Right.
That's, and it's called culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called company culture. And because of COVID, I think many companies, especially those that are continuing to, have remote workers, you lose that company culture. You can have all the Zoom meetings you want.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're not face to face with somebody, working next to them, talking to them, having lunch with them, sitting at the water cooler, whatever the water, there's no water cooler, but everyone's like the water cooler, like. Remember, like in Saturday Night Live, Rob Schneider used to be at the copy machine. Making copies. You don't have that guy. Making copies. All of that. It's just
the Office would never be a show.
That's right. There would be no Office the show. Exactly. So literally. So it's and think about a television think about a television show where everybody's just working at home by themselves via Zoom. There's no TV show there.
Yeah.
Right? There's a TV show, The Office, but there's no TV show. I'm going to working remotely by Zoom, sitting in your living room by yourself. So people, they're just going to go for the highest salaries.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line now because
there's no loyalty really
the
anymore.
Loyalty you lose the loyalty, and I can tell you exactly why that is. I see it in my own law firm. Unfortunately,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
but it's definitely changed the culture.
But
the work
it
culture.
Also people like working from home.
Well,
so I said it's not good for me as an employer.
Right.
As an employer, I don't like it. I don't like turnover.
Right.
And I like to have a camaraderie and have and forge friendships and have loyalty to the company and everything.
Yeah.
But from an individual employee, I get it. Yeah. You know what? People didn't realize before COVID how unhappy they were.
Right.
You think about the slog of, everyone's like, the slog of getting up in the morning and going to work and commuting and going home and this is my life and I feel like a zombie every day. I wake up and I go to. You did it. You would travel out to Long Island, right? You did it.
I'm sitting here and you are preaching. I'm just like, go ahead, Brad. That was my life, yeah. And then even when I worked in Manhattan too, and I was still working the show, and yeah, there were a lot of things.
Yes. So people, the slog of every day, the psychological slog.
And getting on the bus.
And getting on the bus and fighting the traffic. And now I don't have to. I can go make a cup of coffee in my kitchen, go to my living room, go to work. All
right. Let's not talk about it enough. We might start scaring everybody and having them start thinking like, yeah, let's all quit now.
No, don't do that.
Right.
That'd be pretty
giving
dumb.
them a lot right there.
That'd be pretty dumb.
Just waking up whenever you want, make your coffee. Okay,
right,
let's calm down, guys.
Meanwhile, everybody in the booth is like, that's it, I'm giving you my resignation. Like, no, stay! Meanwhile, economist Eduardo J. Patrick, but I get it.
I do too, of course. I lived it for a whole year.
Please stay! Don't go, Julian! All right, economist Eduardo J. Patrick wrote in The Hill that employers need workers and workers need dignity and a business case for immigration reform. This makes an immigration case for a case for immigration reform. According to recent analysis, if Congress creates pathway to citizenship for dreamers, TPS recipients, farm workers, essential workers, economic activity is going to increase by $121 billion. Employers like myself are looking for workers. I'm looking for employees right now.
Yeah.
So there's a scarcity of people who want to work.
Yeah.
They all want to work from home, or not work at all, or live the life, travel the world. I don't know what they want to do, but we have a record number of people quitting their jobs.
Yeah. Blame COVID.
Meanwhile, only on Hump Day the 13th would we see William Shatner catapult himself into space.
Oh, did he go?
He went today on a rocket that was designed. Did you see the rocket? It was designed for Hump Day the 13th.
Lord, what was it?
Wait, no, that's not the rocket. Can we show it bigger? That's the rocket blast off. Okay, he went into space. He rocketed. All right, that rocket was designed for Hump Day the 13th. I mean, if that is not a Hump Day the 13th rocket ship, I don't know what rocket ship is if that's not a Hump Day the 13th rocket ship. It's true, right? I mean, it looks like what it looks like.
Pretty fitting.
Yes, and it's called the Blue Origin, and the Blue Origin rocket ship blasted the 90-year-old science fiction actor in a capsule from a launch pad in Van Horn, Texas, for a 10-minute and 17-second trip into space.
So that's it? It just takes 10 minutes to get up there?
This thing, you're on a rocket. It's going really freaking fast.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It soared to 347,539 feet above ground level. Just as a means of comparison, when you're flying in a jet, you're at about somewhere between 35,000, 36,000 feet. So this is 10 times higher than you're flying in a jet plane. Now, after coming back to Earth, an emotional William Shatner, a.k.a. Captain Kirk, said to Jeff Bezos, "What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine."
Aww.
He said through tears, "I hope I never recover from this. I hope that I can maintain what I feel now. I don't want to lose it. It's so much larger than me in life. The enormity and the quickness and the subtleness of life and death. It would be so important for everybody to have that experience through one means or another." He suggested to Jeff Bezos that maybe he should do this as 3D wear and have a goggles experience. Or how about instead of charging people, because you got plenty of money, give it away for free. Right?
He said that to Jeff?
I'm saying it to Jeff.
Oh, I was about to say, I know William ain't said that.
Let the average man fly into space. You know?
I would love that. Yeah,
I mean, William Shatner, I'm sure he didn't pay to go.
Absolutely not. But it's also marketing. Yeah.
It's publicity and marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let the average man,
you got him to get the
whoever the
Guinness book.
I think whoever the next winner of Crew vs. Squad. Jeff Bezos should invite the winner of the next Crew vs. Squad into space on his Hump Day the 13th capsule. Look at that picture. I mean, come on. It's just so no, not William Shatner. He's not humpy. The rocket ship. That's not the rocket. The rocket ship looks very humpy.
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it?
That's awesome, though. That's awesome.
And meanwhile, I told you it's a very, 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 very thin news day today. The U.S. reported more than 44.5 million coronavirus cases. Starting next month, the United States is going to allow fully vaccinated foreign nationals to enter by land from Canada and Mexico. So if you are vaccinated, you can drive across the border starting next month from both Canada and Mexico. The Mexican-Canadian border has been closed since March of 2020, almost more than 18 months. You were able to fly as a tourist. Yes, Mexican and Canadian, I said that. You can fly as a tourist. You can fly as a tourist from Canada to the United States, but you can't cross the border by car.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, today's update follows the White House's September 20th announcement saying the United States would implement a new international air travel system in early November to allow Europeans to come to the United States. So for those in the high tourist areas, New York, Miami, Chicago, LA, get ready for very crowded streets starting November.
Oh.
I think there's a lot of people with a lot of saved up money because they didn't do anything during the pandemic.
That's true.
And they want to get on an airplane, and they certainly want to come travel and visit the United States of America.
Yeah.
And I think
It's been a while.
it's been a long time, and I think what you're going to see on the streets, especially I believe in New York, Miami, LA, Chicago, maybe some of the other, high tourist destinations, you're going to see a lot of foreigners coming in. Now, the only thing, as visitors, on ESTAs, on visitors' visas, the only thing that the United States has not announced yet is exactly what piece of paper are they going to accept to show that you have a COVID vaccine. We don't know the piece of paper.
So they don't have like a vaccination card overseas?
Well, maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
But
maybe
every
they don't.
country's different. So the Canada's different than the European Union. It's
Right.
different than Mexico. So what is it that you're going to have to show to get on the airline to come to the United States to show you're fully vaccinated? The Biden administration said they'll let us know very shortly.
Maybe like a whole app where everybody all over the world, just like we have an app where we can upload it.
I don't know, but
Because if you can download TikTok, you can download an app and show your vaccination card.
But it is.
Seriously, to keep the world a little safer, just a little safer.
Right.
But the Camels are very excited because it is Hump Day the 13th.
Woohoo!
All right, let's get to our Hump Day news.
Let them out.
Now, for those who are new to Bradshaw Live, if you're under 18, maybe cover your ears. It gets a little randy. Or not that randy.
Nah.
It's PG.
Not that
It's
way.
PG.
Not like it used to.
Not like it used to.
It used to get
right,
a
when
little,
we first started, we were like, what the heck?
It's a lot calmer, guys.
Yes. Yeah, we've calmed ourselves down as we got older.
Yeah, right.
Before you joined us, Vanessa, it was a lot more randy.
Wow.
Now, an online dating ad by an Australian man who reportedly hasn't yet lost his virginity. There is people out there.
A real 40-year-old version.
Yes. He raised some eyebrows after revealing that his ideal lover should also be a virgin. The news.com in Australia reported that Daniel Petchnick, 41 years old, he is a self-confessed virgin, put an ad to find another virgin that he can start to date. Now, this unconventional advertisement posted on the site, single on his site. Oh, he started a website. And it was on his website. He made a website for this.
Wow.
All right, the 41-year-old Australian virgin made a 41-year-old virgin website.
Okay.
And it's called singleguyfromadelaide.com. And on his website, he writes, when I was younger, I spent all my time on my business. I didn't really have time for a partner. I didn't look. I'm looking to meet a nice young woman, the right one, and one who also saved herself for when the time was right. Now,
how would he know?
Now, how do we know this guy's telling the truth?
Yeah. And how would we
That's
know
a
if the
friend.
girl is going to tell the truth?
Correct. He wrote, what I realize is that no one really does this, waiting. It's really difficult to find someone who hasn't had a partner or who hooked up before. Now, aside from being romantically chaste, Peachnik says his life partner should be someone bright, intellectual, an internet entrepreneur. I don't think he's going to find this person. He wants a woman who's a nice young lady, who's a virgin, who, by the way, knows everything about the internet.
Right.
Okay, is very intellectual, very bright.
Listen, law of attraction, just throw it out there.
Yeah.
You know, manifest it. Maybe that will work, but...
You know, his posts garnered some anger.
Why?
One detractor said, so you're basically looking for virgin men these days, shaking my head. SMH.
I mean, that's his preference.
Another one said, fake AF.
Oh,
Fake AF.
they don't believe him.
They don't believe him. I didn't believe him either.
They think it's all cap.
Uh-huh.
That's new
Yeah.
lingo for you. You heard
now
me?
others.
Did you hear me?
What?
That's new lingo for you.
What?
It's cap, all cap.
All cap?
Like a cap.
What does that mean?
That means like it's fake.
All
It's like
fake.
It's all like news. It's just mumbo jumbo. It's all cap.
Thank you, because I saw somebody say something
Like
on.
all BS.
I saw somebody on Instagram do a story about cap. I didn't understand what the heck they were talking
Yeah.
about. So now I got to go back and review
Now
the
you'll get
story, knowing what cap means.
It can mean different things too.
You know, I need to speak to Yo-Yo every day. I need like Yo-Yo to English
Yeah.
to you know,
It's all hype. It's all-
hype
All hype.
hype dictionary.
Listen, your kids are not gonna know what to do with you after you done
That's
with me.
right. Right. All cap. All
Yeah,
cap.
all cap.
It's the AF.
Cap. It's not even AF. Yeah, it's all
anymore.
cap.
Yeah. All right, all cap. Is that, when did this cap come out,
That
by the way?
started like this year.
This year. I never heard that before.
yeah.
I just saw it recently.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the heck
All
it meant.
cap.
You know, I go to that Urban Dictionary. You know, the Urban Dictionary. I go there at least once a week these days. All right. By the way, there's another. We should put these two together. Oh, no, she already lost her virginity. Leon Stokes. She wrote an article, Below Average, A Life Way Under the Bar, about her not losing her virginity until she was 30 years old. It's a book, Below Average, A Life Way Under the Bar. She's a New York City resident, and in this book, she writes about her quest to lose her virginity. She says, sex drives our culture. Everyone is obsessed with it. Raised in Nyack in early 1980s, the daughter of an outrageous Vietnam veteran, Stokes felt like an outcast. Her intimidating, wacky dad scared away potential boyfriends as she grew up. Her senior year of high school, Stokes lied to her dad, took off on a road trip to Ohio, she writes in her book, to have sex.
Oh.
But when she got to Ohio to meet her man, she chickened out and said, nope, I'm just here to see the Cats touring company.
Oh, wow.
Now, after she went to Syracuse, she would have thought that she would have lost her virginity in Syracuse. Nope, she didn't find the man of her dreams. After graduating, she interned on Days of Our Lives in Spin City, but in the glamorous, oversexed world of television, she still felt like a misfit. Shares Stokes, my best moment was when Dan Rather smiled at me in an elevator. Stokes went on to work at Fame Manhattan advertising agency McCann Erickson, another big, hot, sexual-oriented place where they're doing a lot of advertisements. You know, sex sells. Nope, couldn't find
Didn't
anybody.
sell to her.
No. One of her romantic entanglements was a writer on Saturday Night Live who asked her to sign a waiver before he had sex with her.
Oh.
She refused.
Oh, what?
On the eve of her 30th birthday, Vanessa, she says, that's it. She decided to rip the Band-Aid off, and she went to a local bar in Williamsburg
What?
to find the first man who would buy her a drink. And she says, the first man who buys her a drink, that's it. We're going home, and we're making whoopee.
Wow.
And she found a Scottish man. Now, maybe this doesn't refer to all Scottish men, but she said he wasn't that good at the sack.
Oh. How?
He bought her a drink and she took him home.
Well, whose choice was that? You know, who's really to blame here, huh, sis?
For real.
Right. Now she's 37 years old. She is in a relationship. I guess she finally found good sex. But apparently this is a very big selling book. So...
I cannot. I want to hear from the squad in the comments. I am all over
They're
here.
hilarious. They're still talking about the other guy.
The other guy?
Yeah, he's no virgin. Fake for sure.
Now,
Jessica Leamy said, if I'm a virgin, how him go know if the woman a virgin? Like, everybody's like, it's all cap.
now there is a moral to this entire book. We just didn't say this.
Oh, there is?
There is.
Okay, please.
She's now 37
Share.
years old, this author, and she lives in Austin, Texas. And she says, I think girls and women should feel like they're enough. I want to empower girls to be able to laugh at themselves more. It's going to be hard to make it and hard to find love, but never stop your hustle.
I mean,
That's
I feel her.
You
but-
feel her.
But no.
Do you know people in your age bracket that are virgins?
I know one.
You do. So
And
they're
she's-
not it's not unusual.
You know what's funny?
It is not unusual.
She is an internet low-key celeb. She's a big host for an internet show. She's Nigerian American, very beautiful, in a sorority, very educated,
Yes.
and preaches.
Can you show
And
her?
she is a virgin. Can I show
Really?
you? Want me to show you her?
No, don't. No, don't. Please don't. It's Hump Day. Please don't.
Early 20s, like I'll be turning 30 at the end of this month. I'll be 30 at the end of this month, but I know people in their early 20s that still are.
Really?
This is
Yeah.
her.
23, 24, 25.
You guys don't get to see it. I just have to show you, Brad. So I do know one.
All right.
Oh,
Now, would this
Yeah,
count, by the
that's
way,
it.
as
That's the
losing
only
your
one.
virginity? Okay. A recent survey, I don't know who did this survey, by the chatbot Tidio. Tidio. Make sure I say that correctly. Tidio. They did a survey. Does this count as losing your virginity? 48% of men said they are fascinated with having sex with a robot. If you have sex with a robot, would that be losing your virginity? Vanessa.
What?
I don't know. Perhaps the emotional connection is why Real Doll Company felt why their eerily lifelike doll is staring into your soul.
if it looked like that,
and asking you haven't got one of your own yet.
if it looked
All right,
like
so
that,
if the robot
you're
looks like
losing.
that,
You're
you've lost your virginity?
Come on, look at that. That's a real person.
You've lost your virginity?
Nah, I'm just playing.
I don't think so.
Nah, it's got to be real.
I think it's got to be.
contact.
I think you lose virginity when there's perhaps potential of.
There needs to be a sense of touch. folks.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
With another actual.
Right. Not with
real
like
person.
not with like plastic or wood.
Yeah.
No.
No. Now, sex robot expert. There is such a person. Her name is Dr. Kate Devlin. Okay, I've heard of lots of experts in my life. Imagine if I'm on trial. We need to find an expert on sex robots. We know
How
who to
does she
call
get
now.
a degree in that?
She got a degree. She's a lecturer at King's College in London. I'm sure they're very proud of her. She told
UK.
Cosmopolitan magazine, as for what Harmony can actually do, Harmony is the sex robot, it's not very much. She can't even stand up on her own. The only robotic bit is in her head. She can smile, blink, and turn her head.
That's creepy, but look at that.
That's creepy.
That I couldn't. I don't want nothing like that around
don't
me
want
or
anything
in
like
my
that.
place. No.
That is so creepy. It's
That is-
almost like the doll from the Chucky doll grew up
Right.
and it actually freaked out, and she looks real, but she's still a doll.
Do you think?
Right.
Do you think that would be a good horror show, like the sex dolls come to life?
Yeah. I mean,
think-
iRobot was amazing. So
Yeah. The
a
sex doll-
sexy iRobot. That's actually a great.
It's a great horror
like,
movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got everything in it.
And it could be sequels, just
That's
like
right.
Chucky. It could be like the sex
Yes.
robot doll version of Chucky.
All right, we got to get to our immigration. We have time for one more hump day. Vanessa, do you like the one under the? Wait, Under the Schmooze or under the iPad?
The iPad.
iPad. This is iPad. Okay. So, of course, we cannot end a Hump Day the 13th without our friend Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, Lord.
Yes,
she's back again.
Yes, she's back. The Oscar-winning actress, infamous for her "This Smells Like My Vagina" and "This Smells Like My Orgasm" candles, is on a mission to get ladies in the mood. Maybe if this 30-year-old virgin would smell Gwyneth Paltrow's candle. I don't want to say smell her, you know what.
Yeah, let's do
but
candle.
If she would smell her candle, perhaps she would have lost her virginity earlier. Now, Gwyneth Paltrow's much maligned lifestyle company Goop, notorious for selling pricey wellness products and questionable health claims, has released its newest vagina improvement device. It's called, now I know this one because this is from my time. DTF. It's called DTF.
And is that the same?
It's the same DTF
as we
know it now.
Okay. Whoa.
Yes, that's what it is called. DTF. A supplement to support women's sexual desire, arousal, and mood. Yes, the product's name is taken from the digital slang abbreviation for down to you know what.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And she said it's like a Viagra for women. DTF promises users not only more desire, but more pleasure too.
Oh.
Yes. So how do you take this
Take
thing?
it as a pill.
It's a pill. Now, Gwyneth says it's just not about sex. It's about supporting our pursuit of pleasure. And yes, we chose to name it DTF. It can be a joke we share.
How is it not about sex and F?
Of course it is. It's all marketing. It's all marketing. Now, the branded 3-ingredient product costs $50 to $55. It's vegan, it's gluten-free, and will be released online at goop.com on Monday. Goop's brick-and-mortar locations also now sell the product. For optimal results, take 2 capsules daily for 2 months, and then you will be DTF.
I'd rather
you will be DTF.
I'd rather have some strong back. Me personally.
I think the strong back works better, right?
Yeah.
And you don't got to pay $55 for it,
right?
Right?
And it tastes good.
All right, Vanessa. Yo.
Yes.
Hump Day the 13th is now officially over.
Woo! That was fun.
You like Hump Day the 13th.
I do.
That was funny. All right. In today's For Education, I talk about ESTA visa loopholes. Let's take it down a notch and talk about visas now. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration for Education. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. Now, there are 39 countries enrolled in the United States Visa Waiver Program that allows citizens of those countries to travel to the United States for tourism and stay for 90 days without a visa with an ESTA, which is the digital travel authorization to the USA you obtain online. Entering the United States on an ESTA, whether you say something or not at the airport, it is implied you are a tourist. It is not a fiancé visa or a marriage visa. So if you were to marry a United States citizen or permanent resident while on the ESTA, the government would call you a liar. You said you were visiting, and then you were marrying a United States citizen or resident, which is not allowed on the ESTA. It is a blatant misrepresentation. Now let's talk loopholes. What is interesting about the ESTA is that if you come to America and you wait more than 90 days, and then you get married to a United States citizen, well, then the law says, okay, you changed your mind. You were coming to visit, and then you changed your mind. And that's okay, because it's okay to come with the intent to visit and then change your mind. But it is not okay to come to America on an ESTA, with a preconceived intent at the airport or at a border crossing to get married to get your green card. But the ESTA is only for 90 days. So you're saying I would have to become undocumented to stay in America in order to obtain my green card through marriage and adjustment of status? Yes, that is what I'm saying. Because you want to avoid making a misrepresentation by getting married in the first 90 days. Because if you marry a United States citizen, then you are still allowed to adjust your status in the United States to get a green card through your marriage, even if you overstay your visa. And that goes for any visa, including the ESTA. So as crazy as that sounds, this is the law. If you're coming to America to marry a United States citizen, to get your green card on an ESTA, you need to overstay. Then get married, and then adjust your status. If you do this, you're on your way to getting a green card, provided you're in a bona fide loving marriage. Otherwise, you are getting denied for misrepresentation. There is a waiver for misrepresentation, but they're really hard to get approved. And if you are denied, and since you already signed your rights away on an ESTA, you have no right to contest your deportation, and the local immigration officer can put you on a plane and send you home without you ever seeing a judge. But if you're going to overstay, make sure you get married because your ESTA is no longer valid. So the only way to gain immigration status is get married to get your green card. Are there other loopholes? Well, yeah. The same thing applies for children of United States citizens who are under the age of 21 and parents of U.S. citizens who are filing for them who are over the age of 21. And I would be remiss if I failed to mention that you could see all of our educations on OnlyFans, where even on Hump Day the 13th, I'm still fully clothed on OnlyFans. The only fully clothed attorney. Ask me why I'm there. We still try to figure it out, but that's where you find me. And even on Hump Day the 13th, I like saying that.
Hump Day the 13th.
Hump Day the 13th. Even on Hump Day the 13th, we still have meat and potatoes to do. Let's do it. All right, Gina, how are you? What's your question?
Yes, hello.
How are you?
Good. I had a misrepresentation. Representation, yes. Someone did an application for me, and they put that I was born somewhere, but I was born actually somewhere else.
Where was the somewhere and the somewhere else?
Okay, so
and what was the application?
I was born in Aruba, but my mother is Haitian. So I went to this person and asked the person if I would have qualified for the TPS because by my mother being Haitian and having the Haitian nationality, if I would have able to qualify.
Right.
Well, the person told me, yes, I will qualify for it.
Oh, and then he said that you were born in Haiti when you were not.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. Okay. I was thinking he was going to put that I was born in Aruba, but I had the Haitian nationality through my mother.
Right.
But he never did that. So when I got my work permit was saying that I was born in Haiti.
And that's when
you realized. I got mad at him. I went over there, whatever. Now I got a lawyer.
Well,
the lawyer
what did he had to have submitted a birth certificate that was not legitimate in order to get you the Haitian TPS?
Well, I never got the TPS. I only got the work permit.
Well, that is the work permit is the TPS. That's basically what you get.
Oh, because they sent me a letter saying that they wanted a proof of my birth certificate and a Haitian passport.
Right. Okay. So you're lucky you got the work permit, but you usually get the work permit. Yes. You usually get the work permit after you're approved. Perhaps they approved you, and then they're now looking into your case more. What I would do is stop. Don't do anything more. Take a step back, and what we need to do is investigate what this man did. What did he file? What did he do to you? You're a victim, but right now the government doesn't know you're a victim. Right now the government thinks you're the perpetrator. So the first thing we need to do is we need to request what's called a Freedom of Information Act request from the government, and ask
That's
them.
That's exactly what the lawyer said.
Okay,
the lawyer told me.
And ask them to send to you a copy of everything in your file. Then, at that point, once we see what this person did, my advice would be to go to the authorities and say you are the victim, and look to see if the authorities want to further investigate this, because you were victimized. He jeopardized your status here in America by committing fraud on your behalf.
Okay.
All right. So hold on.
Now I need a request of record and a request of a non-certificate.
Yes, but you need, what you need is a Freedom of Information Act request, and you need an attorney to know what to do to help you once you get that. Okay. It's not enough just to get it's not enough to get the record and say, okay, I got the records. You need to know what to do once you got it. So hold on one second. Jonita in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. So I'm actually calling on behalf of my boyfriend. He stays out of the country. He has traveled to the States on several occasions on a visiting visa, but his permanent visa was denied due to a charge. So when he received his letter in May, it was a charge that's on there. So my question is, how do you fight a charge that was placed on there when he was never jailed?
What charge are you talking about? There's no such thing as being denied for a charge. You can be denied for conviction. So he was obviously he was convicted of what?
On the letter it says trafficking in any controlled substance.
Okay, so if he was found guilty of any sale of drugs or conspiracy to sell drugs, even if he didn't go to jail, that's a permanent bar to ever entering America again, if that's what in fact happened.
Okay, yeah. So he was visiting U.S. on a cruise ship, and he was stopped and questioned, cleared, went through the state, stayed for another month, and then went back.
Okay, what you're telling me is that he was convicted of a crime of drug trafficking, or perhaps accused of drug trafficking.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, he may be. If you have a conviction for drug trafficking, it's over. If you are accused of drug trafficking but you don't have a conviction, you got to argue it out. You're wrong. I'm not a drug trafficker.
Yeah. So
because
the
accusation of drug trafficking is enough to find you inadmissible to the United States. I don't know the facts. All I know is you told me the man walked off a cruise ship and walked back on a cruise ship. So I know nothing. All right. We would need to get all of his records. We would need to see what exactly is the exact facts that the government is saying, which, leads them to believe this man is a suspected drug trafficker, and then speak to this man, and he has to be able to come back with information saying they're wrong. This is why they're wrong. And then we got to present it. Hold on.
So how do you get those records?
Well, first start with the Freedom of Information Act request, just like I told the other lady. Okay, so when the government has negative information about you, the only way to get this negative information is to do a Freedom of Information Act request and request them to send you a copy of your records. Other than that, we don't know what they know about you.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Christian in Indianapolis, Indiana. Christian.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Yeah, my name is Christian. I wrote on YouTube already, so I don't know if you got the question. The question is that
ask the question.
Quickly, I was put in removal proceedings after an asylum adjudicator did not grant the petition in 2019.
Right.
And then it's been 2 years now. I've been given 2 different court dates for master calendar hearing.
Right.
But it was cancelled due to COVID-19.
Right.
And then right now, when I tried calling the immigration court, they don't answer the call. So
what is your? Tell me what your question is. You want to go see a judge for deportation?
Yeah, I want to adjust status with.
Okay, you don't adjust status. You're in deportation. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a really, really good case for asylum and you feel and your attorneys feel that you're going to win your asylum, then yeah, you want to push along your case. If you don't have a good asylum case or it's an iffy case, Be happy COVID-19 canceled 2 master calendar hearings. Now you say you want to adjust your status. Are you married to a U.S. citizen? What's going on?
I'm not married to a citizen yet. Okay. I'm just looking for an option.
All right, so this is your option at this point, from what I see, without knowing more about you. If you have a really, really good asylum case, then yeah, you want to push it along. If you don't have a really good asylum case, why push it along? It's going to just end up in an order of deportation and you having to perhaps leave the country. The other option would be fall in love. If you fall in love, you could always adjust your status. There's not a lot of other options for you when you're in removal.
Okay, but I could see that it's taken 2 years or so for I-130 to get approved.
Don't worry about what it's taking. Okay, you worry about how am I going to be able to live here for the rest of my life.
Okay.
All right, and I just told you the 2 ways. Either you have a really good asylum claim, and we push forward with it, or you fall in love. Don't worry about time. Okay, your time is the least of your concerns. Your concern should be, I'm in deportation. I need to get out of this. All right, hold on. Let's go to Juan in Wichita, Kansas.
Hi, Brad. How are you? My question is, this is the context. In 2018, I become a permanent resident, and I need a sponsorship. And my question is simple: I just apply for citizenship this month? And
wait, I'm confused. You became a citizen. You need a sponsorship?
No. Sorry. I'm become a permanent resident in 2018.
Okay.
In August, and I used to apply for my citizenship this month.
Okay.
And I'm trying to go back to school, and I don't know if FAFSA will affect me or my immigration citizenship case, or
if getting financial aid would not affect your citizenship case if you want to go back to school.
Okay.
All right.
That's my question. Right. And what about my sponsor?
Won't affect him either. You're entitled to financial aid.
All right. Thank you. That's it.
Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's go to Abdul in Brooklyn. Abdul.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good.
Man? Big fan, buddy.
What can I do to help you?
So I came here to United States in December 2016.
Right.
Through my father, right?
Go ahead.
And so in 2018, I was a resident of Maryland, right?
Right.
And then I went to DMV to renew my license and ended up registering to vote. So I never realized that I was registered to vote on my green card.
All right. But did you vote?
No.
Okay.
I never voted.
There are, when people get their driver's licenses, sometimes motor vehicles or sometimes they inadvertently register to vote. As long as you didn't vote and it was inadvertent, the Biden administration has said those are not false claims to U.S. citizenship. You'll be okay.
What do you mean by false claims to U.S. citizens?
Well, sometimes when you vote, you have to be an American citizen. So you can't.
Okay, so as long as you are registered to vote, it's fine. But
no, I didn't say that. It's not fine to register to vote. What I'm saying to you is the situation that you just said. You applied for a motor vehicles license, and inadvertently, you got registered to vote. You didn't make a false claim to U.S. citizenship. You didn't vote. That is not a false claim to U.S. citizenship. Now that you have discovered that you have inadvertently been registered to vote, you should take yourself off the voting registry list. And
I already did it.
Okay, then you are okay. I didn't say it's okay to register to vote. I said in your situation, you will be okay.
So
in your situation, you're
I understand what you're saying.
I don't know what else you don't understand. What's your next question?
So my next question is it okay to apply for citizenship?
In your situation, you're okay. I've said it 3 times. Yes, you can apply for citizenship. It is not. It is not a false claim to citizenship. What you did, which is what would bar you from becoming a U.S. citizen. You need help. Hold on, because I've said it 3 times already. Christina in Orlando, Florida.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Okay. A friend of mine lost her husband from car accident, and she was given a certain amount of money, for relief. She was already in deportation from her asylum case. So my question is there any other category of green card application she can fight for?
Well,
since her husband cannot sponsor the I-130 anymore.
Was her husband a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay. When did the husband pass?
Last year November.
Okay, so she should be filing a widow petition immediately. You can do that within 2 years of a death and adjust her status. Okay. She needs help. Hold on. Let's go to Susan in Hartford. Susan.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm fine. I wanted to ask what you need if you want to call.
I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Can you speak up, please?
It's come.
What is your questions, ma'am?
I wanted to find out.
Ma'am, I don't hear you. You got to speak up.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now I do. Yes.
Okay. I wanted to find out if you want to file, if you are a permanent resident and you want to file for your kids under 21, what do you need?
What do you need? Where are your kids?
Yeah.
Where are your kids?
In Ghana.
Okay, so you would file an I-130 visa petition for each of them. You need their birth certificates and a copy of your green card.
Oh, just that.
That's it.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Very straightforward.
Do I need a lawyer?
You're asking a lawyer. If you need a lawyer, then the answer is yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I always tell that to everybody. If you ask a lawyer, if you need a lawyer, deep down, you know you need a lawyer.
Yes.
Or you wouldn't ask it. Come back to me, please.
Censored out.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's go to Ida or Ida in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. What can I do to help you? Ida or Ida?
Ida.
Ida. What can I do to help you?
Okay, so my husband came here in 1999, and he got married to a U.S. citizen in 2002. Mm-hmm. And after he got married to her, he got a 2-year green card. Mm-hmm. And then they stayed together a little, and then they got divorced. And after they got divorced, he went to apply for a 10-year green card. Mm-hmm. And when he went there, he told them that he got divorced, and they told him that when he goes back to his country, he has to stay there for 3 months and then come back to the U.S. to apply for a 10-year green card.
No, that's
so when he went to his country, he had a health problem, and he couldn't come back in 3 months. He stayed there for longer. So when he was trying to come back, they told him that he had to stay there for 10 years and then try to apply again. And his green card got expired.
Okay, where's
so when he was there,
after
10 years, we got married, and we had 2 children, and we applied in 2016 for a visa, and we got a 10-year visa. So we came here all together in 2016, and we stayed here for more than 6 months, and our visa got expired. So I was wondering if there was any chance if he could get his old statue back.
What is your status here?
Excuse me?
What is your status here?
I'm from his country.
Oh, you're from his country. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So he got bad advice. What country, by the way, just out of curiosity?
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah.
He can file a late application to remove the conditions of his permanent residence if he can show he is divorced and he can show that he was in a bona fide marriage with his spouse, and he can show good reason why 12, 14 years later he's doing this, which is the whole story you just told us. If immigration accepts his application, he'll be granted a conditional green card back again. They'll interview him in 18 months or so for his permanent green card. if he's able to prove everything that you just told me, he would get his permanent green card. He would then be eligible to file his citizenship immediately because his green card would revert back to 2002. So he would have been a lawful resident for 15, 16 years. And then once he's a citizen, file for you and the children. So yeah, that would be a good way if it actually works out. Let's hope it does. You certainly need a good lawyer. So hold on. Tammy in Alexandria, Virginia. Tammy.
Hello.
Hi, Tammy. How are you?
Good. I'm Mr. Brad. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
And first of all, thank you so much for your nice show. I'm always following you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you. And I had a question. One time I was seeing something that you were talking about that the essential worker, if the law passed, they might be able to.
It never passed.
It's not passed yet?
It's not passed yet. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But we'll see. But
Oh,
don't
okay.
count on it. Don't count on it.
Okay, because one time I was seeing it on TikTok and you were talking about this.
Correct. And then what happened is that if, the parliamentarian, we talked about it a few weeks ago, said that the Democrats were not able to submit it into the reconciliation bill, which is the budget bill, which would be the only way that it would be able to pass, because if they only need 50 votes or 51 votes to pass the budget, and the parliamentarian said the Democrats can't do it. Will they still try to put it in despite the parliamentarian? We don't know. If they do, we'll talk about it again. But right now, we don't know. Right now, we don't hear anything that it's going to happen.
Okay, thank you so much. And my next question is, do you do apparel for Afghans? Do you guys do that application?
Yes, absolutely.
And do I need to call in the office?
Yes. You can hold on and we can speak to you off the air. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's go to Marion in Brooklyn. Marion. Marion, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, Marion.
Yeah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I want to ask you a question. My husband's niece came from Nigeria to here, and I adopted her last year. But when I get her adoption paper, she became 16, and the same day she get an adoption paper, she was 16. I put in for I-130, and they denied.
Yes. Problemos. Where did you do the adoption?
Here.
Did the judge know that he had to sign, or she had to sign the adoption before the 16th birthday? Did anybody tell the judge that?
Yeah, she did sign it. I don't remember if she signed it. I don't remember if she signed it.
What would happen? I need to see the adoption paperwork, and we'll have to figure out if we can go back to a judge and ask them to redate the adoption for one day earlier. You can make a motion to do that based on extenuating circumstances.
Where is your office?
I'm in downtown Manhattan. Hold on one second. All right. And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, you could always follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein. It may take me a few days, not as fast as I used to be, as I'm getting older by the moment. But you can always follow me at @RealBradBernstein. Drop me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your immigration questions as best as I can. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. You follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. You don't like 2 hours of us, but you like 30 seconds of us, that's the place to go. And of course, you can always follow us on TikTok. Even one of the callers mentioned our TikTok. It's our fastest growing social media. I try to do video answers every day to your comments and questions. I've been absent the last day, but I'll be back tomorrow on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Leave your comments. Leave your questions. I answer it with a personal video to you.
Yep, and you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras.TV.
And after Jonathan and Vanessa finish scouring the comments, the Facebook comments for the best issues, problems, and questions of the day, and YouTube comments as well, later in the show I'm going to speak with musical theater composer Jaime Lozano about his journey to the United States from Mexico, building a Broadway career, and his album Songs by an Immigrant, whose liner notes were written by Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda and was released in conjunction with Hispanic Heritage Month 2020.
And Bradshaw Live went to New York Comic Con this weekend and spoke to people about the #1 change they would like to see in U.S. immigration reform. So now we listened to one attendee's thoughts. I need you guys to let us know in the comments your thoughts.
What is the #1 change you want to see in U.S. immigration reform?
That it doesn't take as long and it's not as expensive and it's not such a hassle. We have the American dream that anyone here can make it. I mean, hell, we have that on the Liberty sign. You know, it's, I think even Clueless. They talk about it. You know, it's open for everyone. So I just wish that it didn't take as long and it wasn't as expensive, and we truly believed in the idea that America is for everyone.
All right, social media check-in.
All right, first one comes from Jamil Khan, a Brad Squad VIP member. I'm waiting for my humanitarian reinstatement approval. I'm in the F1 category. My substitute sponsor is my mom, and she is a permanent resident. If I get married in the next few days, will my case be transferred from F1 to F3?
Well, was it your who I guess it was your dad who sponsored you and he passed because you're asking for humanitarian reinstatement. If your dad was a United States citizen, it would go to F3. If your dad was a resident, then that would be the end of the case because you can't be married and be sponsored by a resident dad. So what happened, maybe I didn't explain myself well, or maybe I did, I'm not sure, but let me explain myself again. Apparently his dad filed for him and passed, and now his mom is substituting in on a humanitarian reinstatement. The mother's a resident, but what matters is what was the father. The father's a resident and you got married and the case is reinstated, you go from F2B to nothing. If the father was a U.S. citizen, then you're in the F1 unmarried of a U.S. citizen. Your mom substitutes in for your dad's shoes. Even though your mom's a resident, you're still in the F1 category, and you get married, you go to F3. So it's what your dad is, not what your mom is. Or your dad was, because he passed.
Jivy Dwayne Albright on Facebook. Who qualifies as a co-sponsor by USCIS?
Anyone who's a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. There's over 300 million of them.
Muhammad Munural Islam on YouTube. What is the new development for Plan C in the budget reconciliation?
We haven't heard Plan C yet. Plan C is going to be, I'll tell you what Plan C is going to be. It's going to be override the parliamentarian, or what we talked about before, which was Kamala Harris coming in, making the final decision to say that this is part of the budget reconciliation, and then the Republicans say, no, that's not fair, we want an appeal, and then the appeal would be 51-50, Democrats win. Are they going to do that? And then what would they put in their Plan C? Would it be those amnesties we talked about? Would it be the registry? Would it be the 245I? They just passed a continuing funding of the government till the first week of December. So we will know more between now and the first week of December.
Okay. Esiagin Ayabuvo on YouTube. Is it possible to get out of removal proceedings with the new DHS memo if I am in court for denied adjustment application?
Are you talking about the prosecutorial discretion? The answer is yes.
Okay, Francesca Mart on YouTube. Is it true that someone with an I-485 pending for over 2 years can now pay a certain amount to get their green card?
Not true. Fake news.
All cap.
Mm-hmm. All cap.
All cap.
All cap.
All cap. CJ on YouTube. I've had a green card for over 6 years and want to apply for citizenship, but when I start to put in dates outside of the U.S., it comes to over 800 days. Would it be a waste of time to even file for citizenship?
If you've been out of the U.S. for more than 30 out of 60 months, and you had a trip that was more than 6 months out of the U.S., you may be wasting your time.
Della Moore on Instagram. been hounding me on Instagram for this one, so please listen. Yeah.
Hounding.
Sheesh.
Hounding. Oh, well, I'm sorry, we're out of time. No, I'm only kidding.
Sorry. No. If I file for VAWA 3 months after getting prima facie, and in the same month I get my biometrics appointment, what is the next step? Will I get a work permit and travel documents?
Only if you filed an adjustment application. If you didn't, you're going to be waiting years. There it is.
Chatan Tande on YouTube. Is it required to wait 90 days after entering the U.S. on an O3 visa before filing an AOS?
No, because an O is a dual intent visa.
Okay. Cherry or Cherie on YouTube. I have my 10-year green card and want to know if I can file for my citizenship, but I don't want to stay with my husband because he's not being faithful. Can I do it myself?
Do you have a 10-year card? If so, and you've been a resident for at least 5 years, the answer is yes.
Mama Cincy on YouTube. I am currently adjusting my status from a B2 visa. I am married to a U.S. citizen. I am working remotely with a company in my home country, but currently in the U.S. Will I have any issues?
You're working remotely, not in the United States, but you're working remotely in another country. You're not employed in the U.S.
She's working remotely in the States for her home country.
She's in the U.S. She goes on Zoom, and she's getting paid in her home country, and all the employment is over Zoom or whatever for her home country. That to me is not unlawful employment in the United States. That's it?
That is it.
All right. So yesterday, musical theater composer Jaime Lozano, who has been heralded as the next big thing on Broadway by Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda, joined me to discuss his album Songs by an Immigrant and how he strives to incorporate immigrant stories and voices of diversity in his art. Today, we will hear more about Jaime's career, his immigration journey from Mexico to the U.S., and what his plans for the future are. Let's watch. Jaime Lozano is a musical theater composer who has been heralded as the next big thing on Broadway by Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda. A native of Monterrey, Mexico, Jaime's album Songs by an Immigrant was released in October of 2020 in conjunction with Hispanic Heritage Month. Here to discuss the album, his career, and his own immigration story is Jaime Lozano. Welcome, Jaime, and thanks for coming on Bradshaw Live. I really appreciate it.
No, hola, Brad. Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited.
So you're on an O visa now. You have a pending adjustment, I assume, as an EB1 individual of extraordinary ability. You went for your adjustment interview. You know, we all assume, very shortly you'll get approved and have your green card, but it wasn't as easy to get to where you are at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit about your immigration story?
I never imagined that I would be living in New York City. That wasn't like my dream. Oh yes, I want to live in New York City and I want to be on Broadway. No. So for some reason, when I was back in Monterrey, I started looking for programs about musical theater. And I found this musical theater composition program at NYU. I came to apply to the program. I let them know that my lack of English, that I didn't speak English, and they told me, no, don't worry about that. We have people that they came from Korea, Italy, from all over the world. So they gave me a full tuition scholarship to get into NYU, something completely unexpected. So when I got my letter back in Monterrey, and I told my mom, they told me, okay, I don't know what we're gonna do, but you have to go. You have to go there, even if I have to die, we're gonna make, and actually my mom passed away when I was here after the 2 or 3 months that I was here in New York City. The school was always very nice with me. They support me during all the time. I was working and they pay me, blah, blah. And then I got the OPT for 1 year because I went to this program. During that time, I started applying for my O1 visa. At the end, this lawyer wasn't a lawyer. He was just someone filling all the papers, pretending to be a lawyer, and he had a lawyer friend that he signed everything for him. Then I realized that till I get my copy, my final copy when the visa was denied. But what? His name is not in any paper.
Somebody else's name is on your papers.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you do?
At that time, I had to go to Mexico because my brother was getting married. So I went to Mexico. And when I was coming back, not with my O1, I'm gonna go back with my tourist visa because I have jobs. I was working here legally. And I say, okay, I need to do something to go back. So when I was supposed to come back, I went to the airport. I was getting my flight ticket. And what was my surprise? That I don't know why, I had lost my tourist visa. I couldn't get in a plane. So I had to go to the police department in Mexico to let them know that I lost my visa because I need like a letter from them in order that I could take the letter to the consulate so they can give me a new visa.
So how did you eventually make it back to the United States on an O visa? What happened?
In Mexico for around 4 years. I met my wife now. I met her in Mexico City. We actually came before getting married, we came to New York City. I proposed to her here in New York City in a Broadway theater, on the stage of Broadway theater, where it was Hamilton playing right now. And then we came for our honeymoon. I mean, you can say my love for this city. We came for my proposal, and then we came for our honeymoon. So a few days before, when we were supposed to go back, I told my wife, and what if we just stay? I mean, I think we can find a way to make it here. And we decided just to stay from one day to another one. We overstay our tourist visa. And just like magic, people start like reaching to me that they knew that I was like again in New York. And I have this very good friend who's very important in the Broadway industry, Alex Lackamore. He is the Hamilton's orchestrator and arranger. And he told me, okay, are you able to work here? I'm working on it. Yes, I'm working on it. So right away, after a few weeks that I knew that I was overstaying, I contacted a lawyer to apply again for my O1 visa. I did a change of status. So I didn't leave the country. I was with my...
So even though you had overstayed, he had requested, it would be what's called a nunc-pro-tunc application to put you back into status. It's no fault of your own, and gave an excuse why, and you were able to get back into status.
Yeah. And so I got my O1, and I was for 3 years. It was a nightmare to get, because you have to prove to the USCIS that you have worked for the next 3 years. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. How am I going to prove to them that I have worked for the next 3 years? And more in this industry that is like self-employment, really. You're working just by project. It's not that you work for a company. My application was over 600 pages.
Wow. Now, you talked about your wife, Florencia. You got married to her, so she was able to get an O2 and stay with you here. And you have a bonus track on your album, Hecho para Amarte, which in English means I was made to love you. And that is a love letter to your wife. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, to be honest, I think my wife was the reason why we came back to New York City. I don't think that without her, I think that I could be still in Mexico, like teaching in the university or doing something else. So when I met her, this was actually the first song that I wrote to her. And this song was actually, we danced to this song in our wedding. Because I think that's my most important collaboration. I told you before, musical theater is about collaboration, but doing musical theater with your wife, with your family, it's like the pinnacle of a collaboration, you know, being at home and being able to work with her. That's something, actually something the boundaries about husband and wife and composer, singer are very blurry. You never know who you are at the moment, no? But I'm very glad that I found her, and that's one of the reasons because I'm today in this country. And when we decided to stay in January, back in 2016, a few weeks later, we realized that we were pregnant. So at the moment was, oh no, we have to go back to Mexico because we're pregnant. How are we gonna do to pay all the, and we decided to stay. And I mean, the health program was very, very, very nice with us. And we were able to have this now 4 years old, beautiful son born here in New York City. And we are a family of artists in New York City, like just struggling every day, but trying to make it.
So let's listen to a clip of Hecho para Amarte.
Tanto recorrer sin encontrar una razón. Voy aquí a tu lado. todo tiene explicación. Que el camino que recorrí me condujo hasta ti. Tanto te busqué que yo pensé que eras ficción y me conformé con verte en mi imaginación.
Now, you're also the arranger, orchestrator, music director for the album from the nonprofit organization Our Evolución Latina, Dare to Go Beyond. What is Our Evolución Latina, and tell us about the album a little bit.
Revolución Latina, or Our Evolución Latina, it's this non-profit. It was founded by 3 Broadway performers. The main founder and director is Luis Salgado, who is Broadway actor, dancer, choreographer. And he founded this organization with the help of all his Latinx community on Broadway. They do summer camps for kids from all around New York City, and they teach musical theater to them. They do free workshops for young performers. They have been able to do free workshops going to Peru, going to Colombia, going to Mexico. And one of the things that we do back actually in 2010, 2011 was this album that I think actually was like my very first huge, big thing that I did. Because in this album, I was collaborating with Broadway performers from all the Broadway shows, including like people from Disney, people from In the Heights, some very big Broadway names. I have been able not only to work in this album back then, but I have been always like teaching in summer camp or teaching in projects.
Where can people find out more about you and follow you on social media?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Jaime Lozano, and on Facebook and YouTube as Jaime Lozano Composer. And of course, you can find my music and any single digital platform on Spotify, iTunes.
Tell us what your American dreams are.
To have my show on Broadway and to win a Tony Award, yeah. But as I told you before, my dream is that the thing that I'm doing, telling these stories, could reach as many people as possible. I mean, so other people can relate with these stories and they can learn about us and that they can know that we are here and that we are part of this community and that we are part of this country. So that's my dream.
Well, Jaime Lozano, thank you very much for coming on. You have an amazing career ahead of you. Good luck with everything. Congratulations. And thank you for coming on Bradshaw Live.
Thank you for having me, and see you on Broadway soon.
All right. Yesterday, we totally screwed it up, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Why?
I don't know why. What we sat down and we investigated why.
And
that
part.
Yes,
yeah.
we totally screwed up that part.
Oh,
and
don't bring that back up. You see, I just like deleted that memory.
What we've determined was I just didn't answer the questions fast enough. After we dissected it all, and it just really
we went back to the tapes.
Yeah, it just came down to bad performance by Uncle Brad.
Anytime you answer a question and then you do this, like, that means you answered too long.
Yes, I know. You already know me. I'm like looking at my face. I'm like, damn. That's like my damn in my head. I'm like, all right, keep going. Right. Like, I feel like this is like the $25,000 pyramid. Like, if I don't do it, I've lost all the money for the contestant. You know.
It is.
You imagine the pressure that star had. Like the person. You ever see the $25,000 pyramid? And like you have to do like the last answer those questions and get up the pyramid in like 50 seconds, and then you win the contestant, the 25,000. Wouldn't you feel so bad as the celebrity, like, I screwed up?
Yes, because it's because of you.
Yeah.
It's because of you. And I'm going home rich as hell.
Right, I'm going home rich as hell anyway because I'm a celebrity.
Right.
And I screwed up and you're broke.
And I'm just looking like... So you're just gonna mess up like that?
I always feel it's like the 25. Yeah, I feel like you're the celebrities, and now I'm broke. Trifling. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do this.
You're having reading issues today.
Right.
Vanessa, if Yo-Yo's having reading issues wishes. I give you permission to kick him out of the speed round and you do it yourself.
Yeah, sheesh. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Can I apply for a visitor's visa if I lived in the U.S. undocumented for 15 years?
You can do whatever you want, but you'll be turned down.
Can an F1 student apply for TPS?
Yes, if you qualify.
Can I petition my parents if I got a green card through SIJS?
No.
Can a tourist get a U.S. bank account without an social security number?
Yes.
Can I renew my B1, B2 before the expiration date?
Of course.
Am I eligible for citizenship if I've been married for 5 years and have a green card and have my green card?
No, you had to have a green card for 5 years, not married for 5 years.
If I'm filing an abuse case and I'm still married, will it affect my application?
No.
How long does N600 approval take?
Like 9-10 months.
Can a pending asylum seeker apply for registry?
Yes.
Woo!
But how would you be able to apply for registry? You had to be here before 2010. You would have gotten your asylum done by then.
Get a lawyer.
Presumably. Go dance, Yo-Yo. We did it. Woo. I don't know why can't I dance.
Yes,
I feel I can't dance.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
I saw you. Let me tell you.
Where'd you see me dance?
About 3 years ago at the Christmas party.
You saw me dance? We should have a Christmas party.
We had a really good one about 3 years ago.
We should. And Jill said, "Oh yeah, didn't you twerk in the Hamptons?"
Well, you know, twerk.
I did twerk in the Hamptons.
We did see that.
Yeah. Christmas party. Comments of the day. Comments of the day. By the way, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, a pre-comment of the day, says you can dance, Brett.
Oh, that's nice of her. Yes. Yeah. See?
Pre-comment of the day.
Yeah.
All right, comments of the day now.
All right, y'all. Our first comment of the day. Finest Sarai 30 saying, with the news about a lot of people quitting jobs, I think the Senate Parliament needs to give undocumented people... Parliamentarian,
yes.
Okay. Needs to give undocumented people a chance to work legally.
Correct.
There's a lot of jobs open.
Correct.
Yeah.
Our next one.
Drum roll, please. Thank you, Julie.
Comes from Pobby Young saying, my favorite immigration show.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we saw that.
We saw that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
And our last comment of the day comes from Paulette Bryce Cameron saying, the change I would like to see in immigration is green cards for dreamers.
I agree with that one 100%. We're on that one. Tomorrow is not Hump Day the 13th. Tomorrow is just general Thursday the 14th. Just a general.
But
we'll still be spanning the world for the wackiest news of the week. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?